I invited Phil to speak here tonight because he's just raised $12 million from Sequoia Capital in Silicon Valley. And I'd love to hear your story about how you did that. And I'm sure everybody here in the audience would love to hear that too.
Hello, that's the right mic. Where would you like me to start?
How did you get to know Sequoia?
So Sequoia, we had for those who don't know, LIFX is a light bulb that you control with your iPhone. It's an energy efficient LED colour light bulb. And we had a Kickstarter campaign. We raised $1.3 million in 6 days and decided to cap the campaign because we didn't want to make it too hot. It was a difficult enough thing to sort of run a project and a new company in the public gaze. So we capped that after 6 days, and it was within 4 weeks after that campaign that Sequoia actually reached out to us.
They reached out to you. Oh, that's great. Wow, so were you surprised about that?
Yes.
I mean, what was your reaction?
Awesome. At one point they sort of even said maybe we'll just fly over and meet you. I'm like, that sounds amazing. But they didn't end up doing that, so I went over and saw them and continued that conversation for 12 months actually.
12 months. Wow. So what has it been like having Sequoia as an investor?
I would say that their reputation is absolutely warranted. They are amazing. I couldn't hope for a better partner to be trying to build my company.
What's so good about them?
Their vision for LIFX is as big as mine is, and mine's pretty big.
Oh, talk about that. What's your vision?
Well, the last company to reinvent the light bulb became General Electric, so who knows?
Is this the new Thomas Edison?
Who knows? That'd be nice too.
Well, what's the technology that's behind it? How was it invented? Is it your technology? Have you patented it? I mean, how was it developed?
It was developed in the garage, so we just hacked together some, off-the-shelf equipment, and to try and, I guess, get this vision for what the light bulb should be these days. I think it's been quite, an under-innovated product for the last 100 years. You pretty much turn them on and off. And that's about it. Maybe dimming was like a major innovation. I think what we've done is and someone actually wrote an article when we first sort of launched this and compared it to the iPod. Apple really took off-the-shelf equipment, hard drives, software, firmware, and put this iPod together, and there was a new way to listen to music, and I think that's really all we did, was take off-the-shelf equipment and put it together into a light bulb, but it's a whole new way to experience light.
Is the product commercialized yet?
Yeah, very much so. We've shipped to 70 countries. We've shipped just about all our Kickstarter. We've got one form factor we're about to ship in about a month. And we sort of channel orders and sales and all that sort of stuff. We've tipped over 200,000 units this year alone, so we're pretty happy about that.
And in terms of revenues, what are your projections for revenues, let's say, within a year? Because it sounds like you're on a really fast upward slope.
Yeah, I'd say really big.
You want to give a number to that?
No.
Does Sequoia want to give a number to that? So when you went into them, did you have to change your business plan or change your strategy after you met with Sequoia? Did they give you any kinds of new directions to go in? Or?
Yeah, well, we did a competitive race as well. So we went around and probably visited 15 or more VCs over a 5-week period, and I was hoarse by the end of every day. I think I had 6 meetings in one day and averaging 2 to 4 meetings a day. And to answer your question, did I change the pitch or the company sort of strategy? Every single meeting, I would redo parts of my deck. Because I'm like, these are some of the smartest people I've ever met. They're giving me amazing advice. I'd be stupid if I didn't take it and start shaping the way I saw my own business into the future with their advice.
So you said that you actually started out in a garage, right? This is like the Silicon Valley story of starting out in a garage. What's your background in terms of technology innovation? I mean, how did you get the skills to do this kind of new innovation?
I've been a bit of a generalist over the last 10 years. So I was an electrician. My dad forced me to do an apprenticeship at the time. I thought it was pretty crap, bad idea. But I was a musician. I was a rock drummer, and that's what I wanted to do. And he's like, get a trade. So I was an electrician, and then when I ended up playing drums professionally for about 5 years. Got a little bit bored of that. Did lighting, so I sort of understood how coloured lights and dimming lights and stuff can stir people's emotions way more than I expected. So, like, you know, the classic sort of story that attracted me to how light is so powerful is when you get kicked out of a nightclub because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, the first thing they do is turn on all the fluorescent lights and all the coloured lights disappear and everyone just leaves. So, you know, light stirs the emotion a lot. So electrician, lighting guy, and then I also made mobile apps. I had an app on the App Store the first day the App Store released. So there were 3,500 apps on the store that day, and I had one of them because I saw this thing coming. I'm like, that is the future. I just dropped everything I was doing and started making apps. So if you mash all those things up, that sort of outpops LIFX.
So inventing is in your genes, it sounds like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Any words of advice for those out there in the audience who may be looking to follow in your footsteps somehow?
What I would say is put everything that you have into the product. Don't worry about PR so much. Don't worry about management so much. Don't worry about all those things. They are incredibly important, but they come later. What you need to do is just get your product right and make sure that your product is appealing to people, and it's something that they want.
What's the next step for your company?
We're just on like a massive hiring phase at the moment. We've got 32 people at the moment, and I'd love to double that before the end of the year. We're really wanting to build a big world-class team so we can, take on lighting around the world, and who knows what else after that.
Where is your team?
We've got 20 people in Australia at the moment, and we're headquartered now in Silicon Valley. We've got 10 people over there, but I think we're putting on 4 people next week.
Great. Any questions from the audience for Phil? Okay, all the way in the back. Okay, wait for the mic, please.
Hi Phil, my question is just about your very successful Kickstarter campaign. Can you speak a bit about, some of the lessons you learned and maybe some tips for other people thinking about running Kickstarter campaigns and what strategies really work for you that you think got it off the ground so well?
It probably goes back to the last answer as well. I think just put everything you can into your product. We didn't send any outbound emails, do any PR or anything. We literally, it was a conscious decision for me to not do that. I wanted the campaign and the product to stand on its own. So just invest everything into the product. As well, Kickstarter is a grassroots community, so I don't think you want to make your video too flashy. You want to communicate your message to the audience that you're communicating to.
Okay, well thank you, Phil, and good luck to you.